Hey there everybody, this is Tiger Eye Gaming, and welcome back to the latest episode of our Minecraft 1.20 Let's Play series. In today's episode, we actually are going to start this off by talking about something that's not from the 1.20 release, but something that seems to be planned for the 1.20.2 release. That's right, I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware, but there are some pretty big changes currently in development for Minecraft 1.20.2. Now, I should say, at this point at least, at the point that I'm recording this, these changes are all only experimental features, so it's not necessarily a guarantee that they're going to make it into the base game. However, they are going to be experimental features at least, so, that is worth talking about, and it could indicate that the company is looking to implement those changes into the base game too, so they're certainly worth talking about. If you're familiar with kind of what the changes are, then I'm sure you'll understand why we're here at this particular location right now. I know we spent a lot of our time in the early part of this series at the village, but, well, that's because Minecraft villagers are such a useful and frankly kind of easy way to advance quickly on in the early game, but that is something that could potentially be changing in Minecraft 1.20.2 and updates going forward. Also, this is a side note, but look at that. Isn't that just a beautiful sunset? In the distance with our cherry blossom trees right here in the foreground, and having those particles come off the pink petals, having those particles come off the leaves. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Really wish I had some shaders at this point. I'm sure that there are some out for Minecraft 1.20, but I just typically don't play with them. But yeah, what a beautiful sunset. Oh, with that big old square sun. Anyways, back to what we were talking about before the sunset distracted us. In Minecraft 1.20.2, the experimental changes that are being proposed have a lot to do with these guys, villagers, and in particular, they have a lot to do with the librarian villagers. And real quick, while I am running back to the village with this first lectern that we've crafted in this world, just to show you guys a little bit more visually what some of the changes are going to look like, I will stop by our 3 auto farms here just to show you that they're making some great progress. I did go ahead and place down the melon and pumpkin seeds, as well as sticking the redstone on all these observers like is needed for the farm to function properly. And I didn't do the collection system over here, mainly because I just didn't feel like it. It's kind of a lot for my non-redstone brain to comprehend, but as soon as the minecart comes back, and I missed it. Okay, we'll check that one back in a second. But over here, we do have our sheep farm that's been moving away. And there we go. I already collected almost 2 stacks of this thing, so it's kind of already at 4 stacks since we first constructed this thing. I love this farm. Super, super easy to build, super easy to have a collection system. Literally, that's all you need down there. And then finally, we also have this sugarcane farm, which I don't think has produced too much sugarcane yet, but it is very, very good that we've gotten it going, and it's just going to be going pretty much 24/7, especially since we spend so much time in this area. So yeah, there we go, good progress, and let's head on over to the village to get you a little bit more of a visual look at how Minecraft librarians are going to be changing. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I think, is just place down this lectern and then hope that one of these guys will automatically pick it up, because I do see at least a few people around here who don't have professions yet. Maybe not in this immediate vicinity, but I think there was a guy out there in the distance. There should be villagers here who don't yet have a profession, so let me place that down, and there we go. Looks like we have one guy who is coming to pick it up. Lovely stuff. And okay, nice. So immediately he has a paper trade like a lot of them do, and then he has a trade for a Curse of Vanishing, which is not helpful. You know what, I'm just going to replace this thing down one more time. Alright, and here we go. Here we got Fortune 2, which is actually a pretty good trade. Now, I don't think I'm going to place this thing down and pick it back up a few more times, because right now I'm not really trying to get any one particular enchantment. But the key point here is that in Minecraft 1.20.2, at least with the experimental feature toggled, you won't be able to do that anymore. You will not be able to place this thing down, break it, pick it back up, place it down again, in order to recycle this guy's enchanted book trades like you're able to do now, and like many people do in the beginning of the game to get mending. In fact, the enchantments that every librarian villager will be able to provide are going to be based on the biome where their village is. So right now we're in just a plains biome, so looking over at my screen to the right just to see the list, that means this guy is going to be able to provide Punch, Smite, and Bane of Arthropods enchantments at the normal levels, i.e. these first few enchanted book trades. Those will be the 3 that he is eligible to provide, And then when you get him up to a master level, so let's see, let's look at one of these guys right here. So our shepherd is a master, meaning that we get these trades at the bottom, his master level trades. When you get a librarian villager to that level in Minecraft 1.20.2 with the experimental feature toggled, you'll be able to get protection 3. Now, it's a little bit annoying that it's just protection 3 and not protection 4, because I assume what that means is you'll have to trade with them twice to get 2 protection 3 books, then combine them into protection 4, which is what you'd actually want on your armor. Although right now I do have a lot of protection 3 on here. But yeah, that is how this guy would look in a plains biome going forward. I have the full list to my right, so just to read it out. Desert, you would get books like Fire Protection, Thorns, and Infinity at the earlier levels, and then at Master level you'll get Efficiency 3. Jungle, you'll get Feather Falling, Projectile Protection, Power, and Unbreaking 2 at the Master level, and so on and so forth. I'll go ahead and try to put a little picture on screen right now if I can find a good one. I think Mojang released a good kind of graphic explaining which villagers get which enchantments in particular. But yeah, what this kind of does is it makes certain villages, in my opinion, a lot more attractive to have. For example, Mending, which seems to be everybody's favorite Minecraft enchantment, is only going to be available from Swamp Librarian villagers, which is a little bit ironic given that that's one of the 2 biomes that has these village librarian trading specifications that doesn't naturally generate. So what that means is if you want to get Mending from a librarian villager in Minecraft, you're going to have to make a swamp village on your own and then trade with the guy there. Now, technically, you don't actually have to make a village. I believe all you need to do is just transport a librarian villager or any sort of villager to the swamp biome, make sure that they have the librarian profession, and then master level villagers will be able to access that trade. However, that's what I kind of have mixed feelings on, and I think that's what a lot of people who have been talking about this change have mixed feelings on. On the one hand, it's kind of nice that they're rebalancing the villager trading system, because frankly, I feel like it is a little bit too easy to exploit these guys in the early game at the moment. Like I was doing earlier on, all you need to do is pick that lectern up and place it back down over and over until you get Mending, and basically all that takes is, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes of picking it up and placing it down, and then you can get a super, super useful book for pretty much infinite usage, especially if you do the trick where you infect them with a zombie, turn them into a zombie villager, and then cure them over and over. That's another part of how they're a little bit broken at the moment, is that you can stack that effect, which I think is a little bit exploitative, because eventually what you can get is you can have an enchanted book trade like this, all the way down to just 1 emerald and 1 book for a Mending book, and then you can do that over and over and over, and you'll never need another Mending book again from any other source. So I do appreciate that that's a nice way to progress early on in the game, but I can get behind the point of view that it's a little bit too easy, and that they want to add a little bit more challenge to, well, one of the most useful enchanted books in Minecraft. So overall, at the current stage, I have slightly mixed feelings about this change. Do go ahead and let me know down below in the comments what you think about it. I'm super, super curious to see what people are thinking about this. I know I watched Izumavoid's video on this. I think he does great reviews of all the snapshots and any potential changes coming to Minecraft. And he seemed to be kind of okay with it, but then the comments weren't necessarily happy. So I don't know. I'm trying to decide whether I think it's just them making the game too unnecessarily difficult, or whether it's a much needed balance change. One other thing about this change, this experimental feature that I think is relevant, is that as of recording this, they have also made Mending books more common in ancient cities. That, I think, truly makes this change a lot more palatable, because it's another way for you to access Mending books without having to find a swamp, without having to bring a villager there, turn them into a librarian, maybe cure them once or twice, etc. Well, sorry, just once going forward. But it's another way for you to get Mending books that isn't too grindy necessarily. It's also another reason to go and explore ancient cities, and I think any reason that Minecraft gives you, via loot or, potential rewards, to explore the new structures is always a very, very good thing. So that has made me soften my stance on this a little, but please do still let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm really curious as to, well, if this will be a positively received change or not, and also how soon this might not be an experimental feature anymore and might be something just added to the straight up game. I'm kind of curious, because it feels like bundles were something that was added in a little bit of a while ago at this point, and well, now they're just an experimental feature, and I feel like most people don't even really consider them when playing the game. So I don't know, I'm really curious to see what happens with these villager changes going forward, and if it's going to be something that everyone ends up adopting or everyone just kind of ends up ignoring. Now, I don't want to talk about these changes for too long, because it's mostly just me talking instead of having some gameplay, but I should also mention that this pre-release did add in changes for the Wandering Trader as well, making them a little bit more useful. Again, reading from the screen that I have up on my other monitor, the Wandering Trader will now trade with you in order to give you emeralds. So like they'll buy items like water buckets, water bottles, milk buckets, fermented spider eyes, baked potatoes, and hay bales, as well as selling a few other items that they didn't sell before. I believe wooden logs are kind of the biggest example of that. They'll sell 8 logs for 1 emerald. You can make that trade a few times, and again, this information is all out there on the wiki. You can see the specifics of how many times you can do that trade before it runs out, etc., etc. But yeah, I think any sort of little change to the Wandering Villager to hopefully make them a little bit more useful, for me, that's a welcome one. Those guys right now, they kind of are just a source of free leads in our worlds more than anything else. So I like the idea that, they can potentially provide you a little bit more useful stuff. And I believe one final change that I also didn't mention is that some of the other trades that they currently offer will just be a little bit cheaper. Again, in my eyes, that's a very good thing. In addition to the changes that we've talked about already, there are a couple new proposed changes with some of the other villagers as well, specifically the cartographers and the armorers. So first off, let's see, do we have a cartography table down? I think we do, yes. Okay, is that our cartographer? Yes, it is. So we don't really have him leveled up very much, but once we get this guy leveled up, towards the bottom, he would be offering trades like a woodland mansion map and a, what are they called? The ocean monument. That's right, the ocean monument map. Right now, those are the only 2 items that he would be able to give us. Oh, there he is. Those are the only 2 map items that he would be able to give us, and the only map items that naturally generate in the game, in the form of this villager guy. And I do agree that that's always been a little bit lacking, so I'm glad to see that new villagers, new cartographers specifically, will be able to offer new maps depending on what biome they're in. Again, this is something where looking at the graphic will probably be the easiest, but just to give a few examples, so this guy is a plains cartographer. There he is. So he would be able to offer us a savanna village map and a taiga village map. I think the idea of offering maps to get to other villages is a really good idea, and it also makes the idea of having to go to specific villages to get specific trades a lot more palatable than it would have been otherwise. So overall, I'm pretty positive on this change, and this is something that also makes the librarian changes a little bit more palatable as well. Overall, just looking at this list again on my other monitor to kind of see what's going to be offered, there are Savannah Village maps, Plain Village maps, there is a Jungle Explorer map, which will point you to a jungle pyramid, there are Swamp Explorer maps, which will point you to a swamp hut, and then is that it? Are all the others villages? Let's see, Taiga Village map, Desert Village map. I believe that's it. It looks like there's no Desert Temple map, at least not as of the graphic that I'm looking at, which is a little bit surprising to me. But regardless, I love that we are now getting maps to jungle temples and to villages and other types of biomes. I think that's super, super handy. And finally, the last substantial trade to villagers in the experimental changes in this new Minecraft update come to the armorers. That's not the armorer. Are you the armorer? Are you the armorer? God, they all look similar. Okay, here we go. This guy is the armorer, and it's kind of handy. We actually have him up to master level, which is going to make it a little bit easier to show some of these things off. Basically, after this update, buying diamond armor will now require a small number of diamonds. Most master level armorers will also buy iron blocks and pay you a good number of emeralds for them. I think it's 4. Chainmail armor is going to be exclusively sold by jungle and swamp armorers. The Savannah Armorer is going to sell cursed diamond armor at cheaper prices, and the Taiga Armorer can swap one piece of diamond armor for another. Overall, I think I like these changes. Even though this is another case of diamond armor and, high-level tools basically being a little bit more difficult to acquire in the early game, I think that's a good thing. As nice as it is to be able to get diamond armor from this guy, and I believe we've also done a great deal of that ourselves, I like the idea that they're balancing that a little bit more, because right now I do think it's kind of too easy. So I like the idea that you're going to have to give this guy some diamonds in order to get the diamond armor back. But yeah, everyone, I believe those are pretty much all the big changes that are proposed in the Minecraft 1.20.2 update. Now, those villager changes, once again, are experimental changes, And along with those, I did mention that mending books are going to be more likely to generate in ancient cities, which I think is a super cool trade. But then there are also a few other books that are likely to generate in other structures. For example, desert temples will have a higher chance of generating unbreaking, level 1 to 3. Jungle temples are also going to have a higher chance of generating unbreaking, level 1 to 3. Mineshafts are going to have a higher chance of generating efficiency, levels 1 to 5. And pillager outposts are going to have a higher chance of generating enchanted books with quick charge, level 1 to 3. Overall, once again, I always like changes that encourage you to go explore new structures in your Minecraft world, so I definitely like those changes. I also like that they're kind of themed around the structures that they appear in, right? Like efficiency and mine shafts, you get unbreaking in desert and jungle temples, which is, I suppose that's cool. And then obviously quick charge in pillager outposts because they are crossbow boys. But yeah, once again, please do let me know what you think of all these changes in the comments down below. It's always a little bit tough when you talk about experimental changes because it's not quite as clear when they're going to be implemented into the game, if, they are. And I don't know, it's always different when you hear from different people on whether they want to play with these changes or not. I think when they come around, I might want to go ahead and give it a try, but I also, I'm not saying that for certain, I reserve the right to change my mind, so we will see. I like that there's new Minecraft talking points. It's very cool to see what different people in the community think about it, and, it got me motivated to come on here and make another video again. And speaking of making new videos again, now that I've kind of talked at you for a solid 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long it's been, hopefully a little bit shorter than that with the edit, I think now it's time to get on to the next thing that I wanted to do in this video, which is a little bit of Nether exploration. I thought when I'd zoom in, it would be on the portal, but I guess it's a little bit hidden. There we go. Now it's time for a little bit of Nether exploration. As we head on over to the Nether right now, there are two particular things that I'm going to be looking for in this episode. Since we already found a bastion in one of our most recent episodes, I actually still want to find a bastion, but just a different kind. You guys might remember that the one that we found in, what was it? Not last episode, but the one before, seemed to be a Hoglin stables, so unfortunately we weren't able to get the new Netherite smithing template upgrade. I do think that you have a small chance of finding those in that type of bastion, but unfortunately it's like 1 in 10 for every chest, so I think we just got a little bit unlucky and we weren't able to find one there. So what I've done in the meantime is, yes, I did use chunk base for this, so sorry, not sorry. Normally I don't like to use it, but this was just something that I really wanted to get accomplished, so I did just go ahead and search up our seed on Chunkbase, and I found the nearest bastion that's a treasure room, as well as the nearest Minecraft nether fortress. They actually happen to both be in the general same type of direction. Let's see, I believe we are, towards negative X. I believe it's this way, towards positive X, and we kind of just have to go straight in this direction, positive X, for, well, about 1,000 blocks, and we should get to a good Minecraft nether fortress and a bastion that is a treasure room type of bastion. I am not going to lie here, y'all. It was really starting to settle in just how far 1,000 blocks is, especially in the nether where the terrain is notoriously difficult to traverse. So I think I've had a little bit of a change of strategy here. As you can see, I just grabbed 2 warped fungus. What that means is that we can now craft a warped fungus on a stick, and I definitely think that's going to be the way to move going forward, because I do not think I'll be able to run that full 1,000 blocks alone, at least not easily. So I think what we're going to do is go home real quick, craft a fishing rod and then a warped fungus on a stick, and then we're going to look for a strider friend who can hopefully help take us across the 1,000 blocks or so of lava that we are likely to come across. Because, man, I only just went like 100, 200 blocks to get to that other bastion, and even that was difficult on its own. So yeah, I think this is the move. Gonna grab a warped fungus on a stick, and then hopefully ride a strider all the way over to the nether fortress and bastion. Alright, my friends, we got the saddle, we got the warped fungus on a stick, we are ready and we are raring to go. Now, I did just realize late on, when I was trying to get the stuff ready to bring one of these guys along, I did realize that we only had the one saddle, so I actually had to take this off our horse. And at the moment, I don't think there's actually a way to, to get them back once you put it on a strider. So that is a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, you know, it is what it is, and hopefully if these guys let us find a Nether fortress, those are usually a great place to find more saddles. So I'm really hoping that this isn't a big mistake, and if it is, we may just have to, you know. So hopefully we find another fortress. Okay, let's go, buddy. You have our saddle and our fungus on a stick, so let's go. Yeah, I gotta say, so far, this definitely feels like it's been the right decision. It's only been like, I don't know, 30 seconds so far, and we've already made it basically 300 blocks. So this definitely feels like this was the way to go. Now, hopefully, the lava just continues along the floor long enough for this to be a viable way to do it. But yeah, we are starting to generate some new terrain, as you can see with all this lava flowing down. Exciting stuff. We've mostly had more Crimson Forest so far, but we will just continue going in this direction, that is east, so towards positive X, and hopefully soon enough we should reach the treasure room, bastion, and the Nether fortress. Oh, and there we go. I was just about to say, it looks like we're getting to around the area where we're supposed to find the bastion. Oh, and lo and behold, if you'll stop for a second, here we go. We got some black stone bricks. It looks like we have made our way to what should be the treasure room bastion. So what I'm going to do now is contain this guy with a little dirt area, just because I do not want him to get away. We spent a very important saddle on him, so it would be very nice if he didn't run away. So we're just going to do that, and hopefully able to do that. All right, lovely stuff. We will come back for you, buddy, don't you worry. And I think it'll be time to explore this bastion. I can't lie, this is incredibly nerve-wracking so far, just like the last bastion we found. But so far, I don't think I've seen a single subtitle for any sort of mob. And let's see, I blocked that off myself. So I don't know, this is kind of interesting. Are we just alone in here or something? No, we are not. I see some not-so-friendly fellows over there. Okay, time to psych myself up. So I gotta be honest, y'all, at the moment, I'm not really looking to take on this bastion like hardcore, you know, like super explore every single bit of it and make sure that I get every single chest. No, at the moment, what I'm kind of looking for mainly is just to get that netherite upgrade smithing template. That's really what I want. So if I can make my way to that main treasure room and just, you know, abscond with that and that alone, that'll be kind of fine with me. All right, and we are officially crossing over into what I assume will be the more dangerous part of this bastion, starting off by mining a couple of gold blocks. Oh, and okay, that didn't fall, thankfully. And, well, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and take it, bit by bit, slowly by slowly. That's not a saying. Sorry, I'm nervous. But yeah, we're gonna take it. We're gonna be nice and careful. Here we go. God, this place is just huge and so scary. But that central area right there, that is where we ultimately want to go. Oh God, I kind of just want to like dig my way downwards and block myself in using dirt and cobblestone blocks. So let's see, I might try and see if I can just do that. And there it is. There's that central area. There are those gold blocks. There's that chest. And you know what? While we're here, actually, do I want to do that? No, not yet, because I don't want the normal piglins turning on me yet. So, okay, we're almost there. We're getting close. Ooh, and by the by, I do see a lovely little spawner over there. Great stuff. That's something that we can use to get renewable magma cream in the future, which is great. And I'm going to continue building out this bridge, just because once I attack the piglin brutes, I don't want the normal piglins to start to shoot me. And oh, we just activated the spawner. Great. That's a little bit scary, but okay. Alright, we are going to finish out this bridge. Hopefully I didn't just give anyone a route where they can come get me. Alright, and I think now it's safe. You know what, just for an abundance of caution, I'm going to do that. And hopefully none of the other piglins will get angry at me. And I think now it's time to shoot these guys out. Pew, pew. Pew, 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 and pew. Okay. And we will now move our way to, oh, and there's a normal one. Yep, that's what I was a little bit worried about. So I think what we're gonna do now is just slowly build our way down, and hopefully no one in there is going to, hopefully no one's gonna drop down there and get mad at us. This is the scary part, but I think we just have to be careful. Right, let's build up the borders. Oh man, and there are lots of little magma cubes around here. Just gonna try and block this thing off from everyone if possible. Okay, and I think we are officially safe in here. Famous last words, but the roof, I believe, is all covered up. Let's see, maybe we should just get that corner. And I don't care about the little magma guys. They can get in, that's fine. But okay, we're gonna take this gold, and we are gonna then just keep on blocking off every little area that we can. Oh, did he just spawn in here? Okay, if so, that's not good. But I think we will be fine regardless. And we'll keep blocking this thing off. Grab that, and that. And then boom, 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 boom. Okay, and I think we are, oh, well, we were not safe there, but he did fall in lava trying to get us, so that is chill. All cool, all cool. The lava seems to have been blocked off in here, which is excellent, so here we go. And there we go. Netherite upgrade smithing template. Absolutely fantastic. Plus, we got some extra diamond boots. Wait, a diamond helmet, and I didn't even notice this. A netherite ingot. Oh, that is lovely, lovely stuff. So we now officially have enough to make one piece of our armor or one of our tools into netherite. And you know what? With that, I think it's just about time to retreat. Overall, I am very pleased with how that went. Now, the one negative of that is that we can't use the netherite upgrade template without consuming the item. So at this point, what we would need to do in order to duplicate it is technically we need a bunch of diamonds in order to duplicate it, and that's, you know, going to be a little bit expensive. At the moment, I don't believe we actually have spare diamonds, so it's kind of unfortunate the way that worked out, but at the end of the day, we have one, that's all we need. We can find more diamonds, you know, we just have to go mining underground, which is something that we're very familiar with, very capable of doing. So a little bit unfortunate that we couldn't find a second one. I actually don't know specifically what the typical loot tables are like for the treasure rooms. I just know that you're supposed to be guaranteed a netherite upgrade smithing template. So overall, I am very pleased with that. I just threw my shovel onto the ground. Oh, there it is. And you know what? I think with that, we are probably going to depart from here. And since we're just a few hundred blocks away, at least I believe, from the closest nether fortress, I think we might as well check that out. Hopefully get a blaze rod or two, hopefully get some nether wart, and then finally find one more saddle, and I think we'll be ready to go home. Alright, you know what I'm realizing? I am tired of this. I just spent like a solid 5 to 10 minutes trying to get my strider up to someplace where he could walk on lava again. He dumped me in the lava at least twice. My golden helmet is starting to break because of it, using up all that fire protection. So you know what? I think we're good. I think for today at least we will be passing on the nether fortress, which is okay. You know, it's far from the worst thing in the world. And you know what? We did get the smithing template that we were looking for. So I think what we're going to do going forward is now, well, we'll make sure to keep the strider. Oh, except we don't have the extra saddle. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy. You may have to meet your maker sooner rather than later, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the full inventory of stuff that we got, including this beautiful netherite ingot. Now, the main reason why I wanted to come here to the nether today was that I really am looking forward to doing some netherite mining, or some ancient debris mining if you prefer, in the future. Now that we have our unlimited wool from our automatic wool farm that we set up, we should be able to get a whole ton of beds, which will make mining for ancient debris super easy. So the way I see it, the next few things that I want to accomplish in this world are getting some more diamonds so that we can duplicate this smithing template, and then doing a little bit of netherite mining so that we can hopefully upgrade our gear from diamond to netherite, and then maybe we'll get some better enchantment luck. Because brother, after this pickaxe, this very, very nice pickaxe that we got, we have not gotten good luck. These are some decent boots by now, but we still haven't managed to get feather falling. The pants are okay, but we don't have protection 4. The chest plate is okay, but it doesn't have unbreaking or protection. And then even our helmet, which is back at home, is not ideal. We don't have respiration, no aqua affinity. I've tried several times for a sword, and I just can't get anything half decent. So maybe if we have a netherite sword, maybe the enchantability goes up, and we'll have slightly better luck. But regardless, it is time to loose this guy. Because trust me, this man wanted to run away so bad. I don't know what's wrong with him. I treat him very nicely. Actually, I'm remembering what I said like 30 seconds ago. Maybe I see why he wants to run away, but regardless, we will take this little path that I dug out in vain searching for the Nether Fortress. We're going to head back home, and hopefully we can end the episode off there. Well, ladies and gents, we are back to our torch trail, so I think this is where it has to happen. God, it's so sad when he's shivering like this. All right, close your eyes, everyone. So it does actually seem that we're like really close to that different Hogland Stables bastion, which is pretty cool. We can go ahead and give that a check out sometime soon, and hopefully it'll have some chests that actually contain some more goodies, i.e. this Netherite upgrade smithing template. We could really use one of those. But even if it doesn't, you know, I'm sure there'll always be cool stuff to check out in there. And regardless, I think it's time to head back, and I will meet you when we are back in the overworld by our base. Alright folks, we have made it back, our nether portal right there in the distance, and over here, our man-made little cherry grove biome. It's really just a wood farm that I used to collect wood, with our house just above us on that hill right there. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and once again, please do leave your comments down below with what you think about the proposed Minecraft villager changes. Again, I kind of have mixed feelings on it. I like, on one hand, that it's nerfing a system that's kind of a little bit overpowered. Oh, God. Oh, my God, they're so loud. Ah. Okay, well, sorry he interrupted me. As I was saying, I kind of like that they're nerfing a system that was pretty overpowered, but I don't like that it's seemingly just going to add a lot more grind to something in the game. Regardless, I am interested to see what you and what the larger community as a whole kind of feel about that. I am not able to hit any of these guys, but I will farm some of their phantom membranes. But yeah, regardless, as I fight off these very annoying creatures, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you again, very soon.